Dumaguete.
Hello, Negros Oriental.
Hello, Sillimanians around the world.
This is Joshua Soldivillo.
And this is Ronelyn Vailoces.
You're watching #Silliman.
For #Silliman updates, vaccination, RT-PCR, and rapid antigen tests will no longer be mandated as a prerequisite for entry into the campus. Unvaccinated students or their parents are only required to sign a waiver form, which will be made available to all colleges and schools. All are enjoined to ensure that unvaccinated students are not discriminated against. Segregation between the vaccinated and unvaccinated will not be allowed. Classrooms and offices may use air-conditioned systems provided exhaust fans are in place. Dormitories may be utilized up to 100% capacity. However, dorm residents are required to be fully vaccinated.
Meanwhile, all worship services at the Silliman University Church will resume on the first Sunday of September 2022. This amends the previous advisory announcing the resumption of all worship services at the Silliman University Church and the Silliman Heights Chapel in the month of July. For now, only the 9:30 a.m. Sunday worship service will be observed. The Chapel of the Evangel may however continue with its services. Shannon Hall shall also cease to operate as an isolation facility.
Outstanding Sillimanian awardee Miguel C. Braganza II was awarded the first Gawad Alab ng Lahi, parangal sa natatanging ambag ng isang individual in an awarding ceremony on July 11, 2022 at the Whitby Hotel, New York. Stage performer Miguel Braganza has devoted his time, energy, and resources to organizing what would become Tanghalan Filipino and later on, the Street of Dreams Project for the Arts Philippines Incorporated. These groups serve as clinics for dance and music performers for and by Filipino Americans residing in Washington, D.C., Virginia, and Maryland.
The Technical Assistance Package Program or TAP is an initiative of the Department of Health Region 7. To implement such program, DOH requested Silliman University to be a partner institution. The participants are coming from the different rural health units of Cebu, Negros Oriental, and Siquijor. They are medical and non-medical personnel of RHU. There are two modules which are part of the activity, that is research and policy making. The participants presented their proposal or project last July 13, while policy making was discussed last July 14 to 15, 2022. Dr. Michelle Naranjo acts as the overall coordinator of the said program.
That will be all. See you next week for another set of #Silliman updates.
Good evening, everyone. This is a magazine program that talks about different aspects of Silliman University.
A program initiated to discuss matters concerning the campus by the sea. You're watching #Silliman. Mayong gabi sa tanan, thank you for making #Silliman as your Monday night habit. And of course, we would also like to express our gratitude to all our supporters online, liking our Facebook page, our YouTube channel. Daghang salamat. And of course, in this episode, we'll be talking about different aspects of the College of Business Administration. Very timely, we're talking about inflation, talking about rising peso to dollar exchange rate, so on and so forth. So to introduce the team of the College of Business Administration, allow me to give the floor to the Dean of the mighty Yellow Team, CBA. We have Dr. Gloria G. Futalan. Good evening, Doc, and welcome to the program. Please do the honors of introducing your team.
Thank you, Josh. Maayong gabi sa tanan. We're happy to be here. Yes, you're right. This is the College of Business Administration, the mighty one. Happy to present my colleagues in the college. To my farthest right is Assistant Professor Rene Juntereal, the coordinator of the Financial Management Program. Next is Dr. Wilma M. Tejero, currently the coordinator of the Economics Program and the incoming Dean of the College of Business Administration.
Wow, congratulations, ma'am.
To my immediate right is the chairperson of the Accountancy Department, Assistant Professor Florenda Caseres. To my left is the Assistant Professor Marivic Diano of the Office Systems Administration Program. And last and certainly not the least, by sheer size, I also have with me this evening the coordinator of the Operations Management Program, Assistant Professor Khristian Rivera.
All right. Wow, what a team, Ron. No, we are.
Yeah, full force. It's really the mighty yellow team.
Yes, we're so blessed because this used to be like during the pre-pandemic time, so
Yeah.
very strong contingent during the intramurals.
Sure.
But
Yes.
later on, we'll be talking about that in a while. But I'd like to give this opportunity as well to the Dean of the CBA to give her words of thanks and perhaps congratulate our latest graduates. How many honor students do we have? Latin honors? Go ahead, ma'am.
Right. Thank you again, Josh. We graduated a total of 164
Wow.
holders of the degree in business administration. Of this number, 18 took the magna cum laude awards with them, and 42 cum laudes for a total of 60. This is the year where we had the most number of Latin honors. So, just happy to tell you this is what the College of Business Administration has been able to produce despite the pandemic. So I would say with those number of awardees, Latin honorees, I'm pretty sure the college to beat is the College of Business Administration.
Yeah, very competitive.
I love the spirit.
So, given that they are the mighty yellow team, I'd like to ask each of our professors here, do you have prejudices against your program? I mean, misconceptions against your program? Let's start with Sir Rene.
Misconception.
Could you clarify that? You mean, do I feel that some people don't think that business education is what it is or what they think it is?
Yeah, common stereotypes about your course or program or about people who practice your ano.
All right, I'll give a general answer. Most people think a business course is about making money, whereas we try to teach it's more about creating value. Okay, so I go with that. That one. That's one.
Yeah. Ma'am Wilma?
Yeah, that it is no longer challenging and there's difficulty for our graduates to find job, which is not actually true because we continue to be relevant and competitive in the market, particularly for our graduates. And we can have more time for that on how we're going to prepare our students to be competitive.
Yes.
Florenda.
Yeah, for the accountancy program, well, for the accountancy program in the College of Business Administration, we are known to be the most difficult course in the college, maybe because of the board exam, especially nowadays or currently we are on the very difficult licensure examination in the Philippines. Actually, it's known to be the most difficult licensure examination in the Philippines. So that's it.
But for our office management team,
I'd like to speak about specific to the Office Systems Administration program. I think the common misconception about our program is that it's a relatively easy program compared to that of accountancy. But same with all other disciplines, everything is easy as long as you have already mastered it. So that's it for Office Systems Administration.
Sir Khristian?
Well, for me, ma'am, as assigned for the marketing of the college, first of all, a lot of students would say, why would I take business course when I can just learn it on the fly? That's what they would say.
right?
Meeting other students from different schools, they would say, sir, business is just, I can learn it anytime. Well, I corrected them or just clarified that in the school or in CBA, we try to prepare you for what the world is. It's not about learning on the fly, giving you the foundational knowledge, giving you the appropriate skill sets that are tailored fit to address the concerns of the modern world. And to be specific, particularly in the operations management, their misconception there is, well, operations management can be done only for business. It's not. Just like all of the other courses in the college, we prepare our students to cater to government work, to private work, to healthcare, any type of industry or sector, we prepare them to be equipped with the right knowledge and skills.
Right, I think that's very important, and that's one of the features that really makes our CBA stand out. Dean, recently we just conducted our recognition day, our convocation, and I remember that our resource person or the guest speaker was actually coming from the College of Business Administration, and it actually prompted me to do some recollection of how old is the College of Business Administration.
May I know who your resource speaker was?
It was actually the CEO of the Shell
Kempa.
Corporation.
Oh, okay.
Florenda.
You mean the commencement
Yeah.
speaker?
Florenda.
Yeah.
In the recognition, the
Commencement
convocation.
speaker.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah, and it seems that you have already produced a lot of achievers. Imagine CEO of a big company, vice president of a big financial network. Could you share to us how old or how young is the College of Business Administration is, and perhaps you can also share interesting history facts also our audience.
Right. Okay. We're talking of age here.
Yeah.
And you're looking at me. But I want to assure you that in the College of Business Administration, number is not what it is only. Like we use it to count. We look at numbers in the College of Business Administration as an indication of the length of time that we have been pushing for excellence. The kind of education that we want to give to everyone who comes to the college. You spoke of the most recent visitor, or you called her a recognition speaker. I remember her to be our
Graduation.
commencement speaker.
Commencement ba yun?
Yeah.
Yes.
Sige.
Yes, she is a product of CBA.
Yeah.
Cum laude during her time. And she's now the CEO, president of Pilipinas Shell Corporation. And she sits also in the board of the company, the conglomerate in the world. I also have a number of students then who holds key positions of responsibilities. We used to have the president of one mining firm in the past, also a product of CBA. And if I have to mention all of them, your time won't be enough. Because the college started in 1938.
Wow.
So it is 84 years
84
old today.
years old.
84 years. Wow.
Yes.
But like I said, this number is not just for counting. I'd like to say this is the length of time that CBA has been true to its commitment to provide quality business education. Josh, just allow me to comment on those misconceptions.
Yeah,
I
sure.
still have 3 degree programs
Okay.
that are not represented tonight. Business analytics, marketing management, and human resource management. If you look at all these 3,
Ma'am,
business analytics,
entrepreneurship?
entrepreneurship, I'm sorry,
program.
4. Business analytics, that's the in thing today. Data mining,
Yeah.
when you talk about the big data, you see we're in the information age, and the college has offered this program precisely to attract those who would want a profession in the field of data analytics. Of course, I made mention of human resource also.
Right.
Despite what they say about automation, everything digital, this resource, and I'm talking about people, cannot and will not be totally replaced by machines.
Yeah.
Because machines do not think, people do. Machines do not have a heart that feels, people have.
Right.
So human resource management will remain to be an important field in any organization, whether it be public, private, non-government, all of this would need quality human resource. So we have that in the college as a degree program. The third one is entrepreneurship. And if you take a look at how the curriculum of the high school, the senior high, you will see that it is among the subjects there
It's, I
that
think, a
is
core
offered.
subject.
Tracks.
Yes, because whether we like it or not, the vision now, not only as espoused by the Asia Pacific Economic Conference, but everywhere in the world, is to make people productive. And entrepreneurship is just one of those that can fuel our economy. So I can go on and on. Marketing management is about consumer rights as well. Students are taught that consumers have the rights to be protected. And of course, you see that right now, we do a lot of transactions using the internet.
Yeah, online, yeah.
Online, so we have virtual marketing and so forth and so on. So I just want to say that the business administration courses in Silliman are actually all attuned to the changing times.
Right, and I think, Ron, no, that's a very good indicator that the college does not only observe and give importance to the quantity of the years, no, but also make sure that there's quality and make sure that they really align with, like, for example, APIC standards that you've mentioned, Dean, and of course, being relevant to the changing times.
Now, listening to Dr. Futalan, there's a diverse programs offered by the College of Business Administration. Now, let's talk about career opportunities. And I think our guest can answer it with respect to the programs that they offer.
All right.
Okay.
Yeah, of course. Definitely.
Okay.
So, Khristian, you'd like to begin it?
Well, first and foremost, ma'am, when we look at the career opportunities of operations management, like what we do based on our curriculum, we first expose our students for corporate life. That is the biggest thing that we offer them, to become operations managers, supply chain managers, even designers of strategies and plans for different types of organizations. But as they progress across all the year levels, we expose them to, again, the different industries and sectors, to be more specific, to be more refined and defined in terms of how do these types of industries and sectors actually operate. So we become even prepared in terms of consultancy, to become even politicians if they may. For legal purposes, they are also prepared, as well as to determine the biggest change, which is the complete uncertainty, but captured in the way that we teach. So these are the opportunities that we prepare because we want to make certain that we cover everything and make certain that we can deliver as part of our Khristian quality education of Silliman.
Wow, that's, I think I'm seeing some golden opportunities there, no? But for the office system management?
For office systems administration, we hone our students first and foremost for entry-level jobs, but we do not stop there. We, of course, also hone them to become administrators eventually, and then finally to become also entrepreneurs. We develop within them this entrepreneurial spirit so that they become job creators someday and not just employees.
Florenda.
All right. For accountancy graduates, licensed or not, can enter into these 4 sectors of the accountancy program. And these are into commerce and industry, into public practice, into education, like us, like me, myself, and into government practice. So there are basically 4 sectors that they can engage in the future when they're going to graduate, when they're going to be licensed CPAs, or also not yet licensed, no? Those that are aiming to take the CPA board exam.
Our incoming dean?
Yeah, the opportunities for our business economics graduates are limitless, but we are preparing and equipping them to become, say, research specialists. And we wanted also to hear someday students telling us that they become project managers working in the corporate world. Although we wanted also them to be players in the government, particularly in NEDA, National Economic Development Authority. One alumna just asked me, "Ma'am, can you give me a recommendation because I am applying for the Bangko Sentral ng Pilipinas?"
Wow.
And that's a very good feedback coming from an alumna. And yeah, consultant. And if they want to become participant in the academe, that is also a very good opportunity for our graduates, particularly in economics, because there's a strong demand now for economics majors, particularly in the academic field. Yeah.
I see. About for Sir Rene?
Well, for the financial management program, I'll sort of tie it all in. Usually with financial management, you can work in a bank, of course. You can work with finance. But if you notice, all our courses are sort of interrelated, network, connected.
Yeah.
So they can work in operations. They help out with operations. They can help out. Economics helps them make better decisions. So with a financial management degree, you can work in public office with the government. You can work as a venture capitalist to create or invest in new things. What's new now is all this decentralized finance, so you can work with technology and the internet, using blockchain technology.
Does
all of
this
that.
involve the crypto coin, the
Possible
Cryptocurrency.
stocks?
Okay.
Also,
Four
and all of this
Forex.
interrelates. So you'd want some skills with business analytics. You'd want an accountancy background also.
Okay.
So
Indeed, Ron, I think this is a very practical courses and very applicable to our lives, especially that all of us need money. And all of us are really trying our best to make sure that our budget really would fit for the month's needs. But we're running out of time. We're going to take a short break. But when we come back, we'll be asking you about how do you make sure that the curricular designs in the respective programs is really integrated with the Christian faith, or let's say Christian values, especially that they say that money is the root of all evil. And
Correction,
we
it's
would
the
also
love,
like to ask,
Josh. It's the love.
Yeah,
It's
we
not
would also-
money per se.
Yes, we would
love
also
of
like to ask your take on that later on.
Yeah, okay.
So all of that and more when #Silliman returns. Welcome back. You're still watching Hashtag Silliman. And before we took a short break, we actually asked a question to our guests here about how do they integrate the Christian faith to their curricular design, especially that there's such a saying that money is the root of evil. Do they agree to this? So let's ask the Dean of the College of Business Administration. Dean, is money the root of all evil?
Well, that's how many people would want to think, Josh, but I'd like to correct them. It's not money per se. It's the love
For money.
for money.
Okay.
And we make sure that in the College of Business Administration, while we look at the bottom line in a financial report, particularly the income statement,
Right.
that's not all there is to it. In fact, I'd like to say that even when we teach project study, we tell our students, whatever is a decent return, whatever is a reasonable return, that is what you will tell your would-be investors, because the business has a social mandate. It is a creation of society, so it has a social responsibility. So we speak of acceptable level of profit. We emphasize that. Not to mention the fact that we have a course in business ethics where we emphasize that when one does business, he or she must do it with conscience.
Yeah.
So it's not just about money there that many people would like to think. We imbue our students with what is required because we are in a Christian institution. And all our core syllabus, we always put as a reminder that the college is there for students, for young people who should be nurtured with the ideals of the Christian faith.
Yeah.
I'd like to highlight on that, no, business with a conscience.
Yeah.
No?
And honesty is still the best policy.
Right.
Yes, Joshua. So much about the curriculum. Let's talk about the student activities that await our student in the college. What are the events and activities that are initiated or spearheaded by the college that students can enjoy?
Yeah. Who could be the spokesperson for this?
For that one.
The advisor of the Student
Well,
Council.
I'm the advisor of the Student Council, and I have here also Sister Ian. For the coming school year, we have plans. We have a lot of plans to do, especially that we're going to have our Hibalag, our Founders Day or Founders Week celebration. So we are already starting our plans, and actually next week we will be having our search for candidate for the Miss Silliman.
Wow.
Yeah, and our organizations, other than the Student Council, we also have a very active organizations, program organizations. Like for example, for accountancy, we have SUJPIA, which has been identified as a top 4 academic organization just very recently. And we have marketing organizations also, we have economics, and we have lots of activities in store for our students.
Any addition to that, sir?
Well, in CBA, it's always fun. Even through the pandemic, we use or maximize the Zoom platforms for all our activities. For the upcoming school year, we would invite everyone to be with us because having it face-to-face, you would see not only an academic institution, but you see a family. We also bring you
That's
not
true.
only for academic purpose, like we give you case studies, we give you, for example, debates, quiz bowls. We also have activities that hone in to the environment, to the Christian faith. We also have sunrise service that you share your mornings with your colleagues, your faculty members, your staff members, your big ates and kuyas with a very beautiful view of the sea from the CBA third floor. So I just want to invite you, for you to see.
Ron, you would probably see that imposing structure, that 3-story building there. Once we go back face to face once again, you will find that as the home of 1,000 plus. One huge family, diverse in programs, but a very cohesive one. And what makes it cohesive primarily is the set of activities that we have lined up for our students. The college has a very active council. And we are very competitive, as you have noticed. the mighty,
Yellow team.
yeah, black and gold.
Yeah, with all the caldero, no?
Yeah. So I have the students to credit that for.
Yeah.
And
The council.
the college faculty as well. CBA has a very supportive pool of faculty. I did not exercise any power over them, just to make them support on their own. So you will see during the intramurals, every team has an advisor to run to. I do not want to brag about this, but it's happening anyway. We have the most organized, if not, the best contender for the intramurals, because every team has a faculty advisor.
Okay, so that is a tip to all our college to provide an advisor to each
And they are also responsible for looking for a budget, because the university has a limited
Yeah. And
allocation.
it makes them more, resourceful at the end of the day. Right. We've been talking about the changing, waves, of course, dynamism of our economy. We're talking about technology. I'd like to ask Sir Rene, and maybe later on our representative from the Office System Administration, how do you integrate technology nowadays, and how do you also make sure that we responsibly and carefully use technology? Because, for instance, you mentioned about online transactions, no? So there might be some hackings on the pins, and perhaps you can give also some tips to our viewers later on, sir. Because I'll be happy to listen to them. And of course, to our office also, system administration, how is technology making your lives easier? Let's start with Sir Rene.
Well, I'll answer one of those two questions.
Okay.
Two of those, because that's quite a lot.
Yeah.
First off, with technology, well, the platforms are blended now. We are using face-to-face and we are using online platforms. The online platforms, of course, allow us access to providing videos, interactive means of teaching. And then we are really trying to implement gamification into our teaching. So using these different platforms and teaching in a gamified way. Right, so I guess a lot of you kids or all that do play games.
It makes it more interactive.
Yeah, and then we also have different programs like Bloomberg, and I think there's Microsoft programs the other year, so they get up to date with whatever else is going on. And then they have access to that information with Bloomberg and some of the other, I think we're trying to implement SAP.
SAP
SAP
software.
and all of that, other software, so they will have access to this data already. What was the next question? How do we...
Any tip to our viewers about being safe online? Especially, I don't like to mention the company, but we're sending, money, we're paying our transactions.
It's the usual, discretion and appropriate. Ma'am, what's the legal term for it?
Cybersecurity.
No, proper diligence. There you
Due diligence.
Due diligence about what you're doing. Do not disclose private information.
Correct.
And apart from that, legitimate
Use of
it.
Yeah. So take note, due diligence and legitimate use.
Yeah. Josh, for a
Yes,
while,
sure.
because you made mention of due diligence. By the way, our students in the college, to a certain extent, are also abreast with certain laws. And one of these is the data privacy law.
Okay.
We have business law subjects there, and so we also teach our students what those laws would allow consumers and members of society to benefit from. They're protected by certain laws. So I just would mention that particular one, that data privacy law.
Wow. So Ron, hearing this now, if I were a student, I would probably enroll now in CBA, mentioning all of these advantages that I would be learning. Yes, ma'am.
Specific for Office Systems Administration, on technology, first and foremost, I would like to do a paradigm shift among the students. I'd like to encourage them to really embrace technology, because if you do not embrace technology, you will really be left behind. So it's all about paradigm shifting first. And then on security, in addition, for Office Systems Administration, we also update them with computer-related programs. We have a total of 19 units for computer-related programs alone, so that they are better able to use technology in their profession. On security, of course, we encourage them to always keep to themselves their one-time PIN, their passwords, because all of these were created for security purposes. So it should not be shared.
Parang may hugot doon, Ron, no? Na you will be left behind. Parang ano, okay.
Thank you very much, ma'am and sir, for that important knowledge that you shared to us. No? Let me ask Ma'am Wilma about economics. No?
Wow.
Where are not really about economics, but it has some it's somehow related. But where are economists about the talks of environmental protection, or perhaps public health, and perhaps climate change? Where are economists?